In a world with an overkill of sports podcasts, two men are brave enough to make one more. A show where topics are endless and brackets are king. Fan stream sports and the Rink brothers invite you to help make decisions of a lifetime. Where the choice between Fruity Pebbles and the DuckTales theme song can change the course of human history. Sports has a new face. Podcasts have a new enemy. And the world has new heroes in March Chadness.
Happy 250th birthday, America. We're here to celebrate it and to talk ridiculous sports and brackets. My brother Nate, coming from his basement, he can see by the dawn's early light. In studio with me, Drew, who proudly hails at the twilight's last gleaming, and myself, who I enjoy watching stuff over the ramparts. We are March Chadness. It was one of the worst openings we had. He's Nate, and I'm Chad. We're the Rink brothers, Drew Lennox in studio. So I had this plan. I was trying to be all-American, and I was going to be like, he's going to be the Red, White, and Drew. You were going to be the United Native America, and there's just nothing with Chad. So I was like, I didn't want to just be like, this is just Chad. So I wanted to do that, and it didn't land.
I think it sounds great. What about you, Nate?
Yeah, I think it's a lateral move from
exactly. We lost one person due to it of the two that we're watching. So, hey, thanks for tuning in. March Chadness here on a Sunday afternoon. FanstreamSports.com. Check it out. Here we're all decked out in our American garb. Let's talk about the weekend first with what we did to celebrate. Drew, did you hit any of the fireworks either downtown at Red, White, and Boom or in Grove City?
I did not hit Red, White, and Boom, but we did walk over to the high school and see the Grove City fireworks last night, and we enjoyed them.
Yeah, do they still have like the booths and stuff around there, or is there nothing really there?
We kind of avoided it. Found a nice spot in the middle of the grass.
There you go.
Just watch the fireworks.
Yeah, I don't know if they after COVID, if they kind of scaled down. It used to be pretty cool. We would just go walk over or drive over. We used to just walk when it was over at Beulah. And then when they moved it, we'd park over at the Naz and then just sit at the hill. So it is a cool thing. Nate, any firework festivities in the Natty?
Yeah, we had big doings at the cottage. Good fireworks show. Our brother Superfly was in town. Him and T.
That's right.
Ethan got to come down and check it out. So it was good times. And before that, we were at my buddy Nick's house grilling out. Had some Dr. Pepper infused Johnsonville sausages, which were delicious.
How could they not?
Right.
They cannot. So that was the first time Superfly had been to the cottage, correct?
No, he checked it out a few years ago when he was in town, but Tisa and Ethan had never been down there, so they were really excited. We all had a good time. So
excellent. Yeah, so we did the last couple of years. We've done fireworks at London High School, which is about 35 minutes from us. We have friends that live out that way. They put on a really good fireworks display. It's not crazy busy, crowded, getting in and out, so we like that. And then we have friends that live down in Asheville. And so we just go to their house and watch the fireworks from there and spend pretty much most of the day there. So I'm all fireworked out. I am not. Fireworks is a kid's thing, I think. Like when you're an adult, like I'm not the kind of guy where it's like, hey, we got to be ready to go in the car, watch the last thing, and then head out when it comes to fireworks and that kind of stuff. But it's just like they haven't made many changes to the fireworks in a while. And we don't, like, I don't know, they don't have the like in 30 Rock, the cowboy hats displays and stuff that much anymore. And now they're like, I don't know if you guys had any drones. Like I know drones are starting to be a big thing. I know at Kings Island when they do the fireworks, the drone show, they'll do a little image or something. So I mean, I enjoy them because like it's just blowing stuff up, but you know, it's all the same. It's been the same. They have not changed it in like the 50 years I've been alive, I don't think.
learning so much about you this week. Your hatred towards Uncle Sam, Santa ranch dressing, and now fireworks. Who hurt you, Chad?
Tell us about it.
Listen, don't spoil the Uncle Sam slander. So So
Spoiler alert, it's
That's
coming.
teasing.
Dad hates Uncle Sam.
I was teasing it.
It is teased. No, fireworks is just like when you're older. I'm like, it's another late night, man. It's just fireworks.
The craziest thing I've ever heard.
We'll get more into fireworks later on in our bracket too. So I'm sorry, I'm just like eating Mike and Ike's, and I shouldn't be. So today,
It's like having
Today's
Noah
show.
back on.
I know. Today's show, more NBA content. Like they are winning the offseason right now because people keep talking about the NBA. Partly is helping out that it's not really football season yet. So once football season hits, it will probably take over. We're going to talk about a boy from the Cubbies, PCA, had a historic June. We'll talk about that. We do have, because of the 250th birthday of this great nation, we have the Nate of the Union address. We also will have a new segment probably during the NBA portion of it called the Druth Hurts. I do not have a sound bite for either of those. I didn't have any like patriotic music behind you or anything like that because I don't know all the board yet, and I don't know how to make it lower. So you can play the patriotic music at your house when it is time.
Chad, if you don't know the board, how are you going to keep Angel Reese from getting 10 rebounds?
Listen, we'll talk about keeping people from getting 10 rebounds later on because I've got an idea when we start talking about stuff that could be like controversial, political. Because I don't want this thing getting like crazy political. But there's stuff we should talk about, and but not to get crazy. I've got an idea for when I start to get crazy about some of the politicians and that kind of stuff. So that's the show, the rundown. Then we got our bracket, the most American things, obviously. And the exciting part is this is the last show before the Champions Bracket 2 Electric Boogaloo show. So we'll talk about that as well. So let's kind of look at the NBA. But I guess first, big news for soccer fans.
And America.
Balogun, I guess is how you Florian Balogun. I'm not a soccer guy. The guy that's been scoring all the goals for us. Suspension lifted so he can face Belgium.
Huge.
Which that is huge. And I could have plugged, that would have been a great time to plug Eggo if they were our sponsor, talking about Belgium and waffles, but they are not our sponsor. So, yet. So, that's big news for us for the U.S. team. So I do like that. Because it would be amazing on their how amazing would it be on the 250th birthday of this country that we finally win a World Cup? That would be huge.
Those are some lofty goals there, Chad. I think this was the first knockout round win in like 24 years.
I know. I'm just saying,
one more, we might be happy.
Listen. This is the stuff that you make movies of. Like it's all coming together. I love when a plan comes together. So that's big news. So NBA, we thought the Giannis trade was the biggest news. We knew Jaylen Brown was on the trade block ever since they were trying to get Giannis. The Celtics trade him, and they basically got us for this podcast. That's what they got. It was a horrible. We'll talk about it. A horrible trade for Boston. They basically get Paul George, an ancient Paul George, a couple first and a couple swaps. Drew, talk about what are your thoughts when you saw the Jaylen Brown trade news come through?
Well, I think Brad Stevens is a pretty smart guy. At least he has been. So I wonder if he thought he was getting Chris Paul and George Mikan both in their prime. But no, he's getting Paul George. Now, Paul George might be the most valuable player in the history of the league with the guys that he's been traded for. I think it's 7 first-round picks, Sabonis, Oladipo, SGA, now Jaylen Brown. But Paul George, he played for the Sixers, right? The Sixers were the 7 seed. The 7 seed upset the 2 seed Celtics, and then you give them your best player.
Yeah.
for very, very little. It's super confusing to me.
Nate, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, him being traded was not a surprise to the Sixers is crazy after they just got eliminated by them. Insane move. Just
Yeah,
making them better, making yourself
don't-
worse at the same time. I don't
Well,
get it.
that's why I don't understand the move, because I'm like, I know Brown may have been mad that he was in trade talks. Okay. Like, he's not going to sit out. And it's not like you had to get rid of Jaylen Brown immediately. Like, you could have tried to work something. I say, listen, we thought we were going to get Giannis. Thought it'd be a better fit. It's not. We may try to move you later on. We'll try to get a good thing. But this, like, it's not like and I know the trade value probably dropped, because anytime you know, hey, they want to trade this somebody, you're not going to get the best value. But you didn't have to trade him now. You could have waited. The season didn't even start till October. Like, you could have waited till the season, see what's going on. Someone gets hurt. But who knows? I don't know. We'll talk a little LeBron here in a little bit. But I just thought the move was ridiculous, because there's no way it helps the Celtics at this point.
Well, did you see that it was because Jaylen Brown felt a lack of respect in Boston?
Right.
And you know how respectful the Philly fans are.
Exactly.
Yeah, super forgiving.
Exactly.
They also dislike Santa.
I was just gonna say, they were throwing snowballs at Santa the one time, which I've never done. So yeah, it's such a weird move, because I've always thought Brad Stevens was a smart dude and stuff. So I don't know what the 4D chess he's trying to play. I saw a meme with the Scooby-Doo meme where it was like a picture of Brad Stevens and like, let's see who it really is. They pull the mask off, and it was Nico, the the owner of the Mavericks, underneath it. So
would have gotten away with it too.
Would have gotten away with it. So I don't know. Like, it just is a weird. Oh man, it's nuts. Like, I expected Brown to get moved. I did not see that. I saw something, because it would be. We'll talk about it, because it could be an interesting move if they could get a guy like LeBron now. So I saw someone just, kind of rank. They put top 3. We could just kind of do 2 or whatever destinations for LeBron in these categories. So what's the top destinations for LeBron for his legacy, for just the fun of NBA watch value or talking value, and then like, what are like the 1, maybe 2 spots that you would just be absolutely shocked that LeBron went to? Let's talk legacy. Nate, where are one or 2 or even 3 places that LeBron could go that would be best for his legacy?
Well, if we're talking legacy, just to get him another championship, the obvious one is if he could, go back home to the Cavs, and if he could make them good enough to win another one. The other one's like, if you were to join the Heat, the Golden State, or the T-Wolves, it easily get another championship. But I think it hurts his legacy as much as it helps it. It'll help it, but everybody's like, yeah, well, he had to join it, So this and that, right. The other. So I think he's in a tough spot. But you got to go get yourself another championship. Who cares what anybody else says? Yeah. So,
Drew, what like legacy wise, is there any other place besides Cleveland that would help his legacy?
No, it's Cleveland. Cleveland is the place. No, I think that Nate is right about hurting his legacy a little bit, about going certain places. I think that's why he can't go to San Antonio.
Yeah.
Right. They just lost in the finals. He goes there. If he wins a ring or 2, they're going to be like, yeah, but you joined. It's like Kevin Durant joining the Warriors. Right. And so, yeah, I think, for legacy, the Cavs, maybe the Sixers. I mean, because if you could bring a championship to Philly, they said that, and who knows if this is true, like if the Knicks wouldn't have won, he was going to the Knicks.
Right.
But now that they have, they've crossed that off. But Philly would be a big deal.
Yeah, because it's been a while for Philly. I think Cleveland is by far for legacy. I saw someone put like Washington, because they never win, so he could bring. I don't think that's going to help his legacy at all, because AD's there. I just think Cleveland's for legacy wise, going back to Cleveland, I think that's how it should end up. But I don't, at this point, I don't think anything's really going to help his legacy. I think just things can hurt it. I think LeBron is LeBron. He's etched himself as one of the all-time greatest. And you cannot argue with what he has done. So I just don't think there's anything that would be like, okay, yes, this is the thing that's going to help his legacy unless he went to the worst. If he went to the Nets and they won it with that group of horribleness, then maybe like he'd have to win it, but he wouldn't at this age. So how about for what's the most fun spot for me? I know Golden State people want to say is fun, but it would have been fun like 8 years ago. But like we're watching like 40-year-old LeBron, 38-year-old Curry, even a crankier, older Draymond. Like I mean, it sounds fun on paper. I don't know how much fun it would be to watch them. Nate, what about Golden State and what about places for fun?
Golden State. As Grayson being a huge Warriors fan, he does not want it. So
Okay.
I have for fun and shock value. I just kind of combined them. So if he wants to go with his for fun, and then I'll just hit the shock value at the end.
All right, Drew, what about for fun?
I mean, I think it could be fun for him to go to the Warriors and play with his buddies.
Right.
You never know if Draymond Green will punch him in the face at practice. I mean, so that could be fun to look at. I think for him, it's maybe about going to find the guys that he likes, right? Going maybe to the Wizards to hang out with AD again. He
Right.
could go to the Sixers and play with D Wade.
That's
Sorry,
true.
that's Dean Wade.
Dean Wade.
It's a different
D Wade. I think Washington would be fun because that team is good, and you add LeBron, that starting five is legit. If AD can stay healthy, Denver would be one just because him and the Joker. Like I think they would have so many shot clock violations to see who could make the better pass, and they just keep passing it. But I think that could be a fun team as well. I think also fun would be if he just joins OKC and is like, I just want to win another one. Screw everything else. So shock value. Nate, tell us fun shock value for you since you kind of combined the two.
I think the Wizards, because you follow in Jordan's footsteps, and if he can take them further in the playoffs than Jordan ever did, he can hang his hat on that.
Right.
Or also following in Jordan's footsteps, if he just retires and plays for the White Sox, I think that would be very fun. Or he doesn't have to leave LA and is guaranteeing a championship if he just identifies as a woman and plays for the Sparks.
Exactly. He could do
a Joanna Man situation and just dominate.
He's so good.
Look at my last season stats, they will be unheralded.
I will tell you right now, I would not be able to keep LeBron James from getting 10 rebounds in the WNBA. I'm just telling you that right now. Drew, shock value.
I think I would be shocked if he went to the Bulls. Right. I'm going to go where Michael was. That would shock me. Right. I would also be shocked if he went to the Kings. I want to stay in California, but not the Clippers or the Lakers or the Warriors. I'm going to go play for the Sacramento Kings. And then I would also be shocked by the Mavericks.
Yeah.
Because when they looked at all the different things that Rich Paul put on the whiteboard and things like that, none of it was basketball related. And I think he's still in the mode that he wants things to be basketball related. He's not going somewhere just to like enhance his business opportunities.
Right. Yeah. I for me, it was Chicago was it. Because there's no way he's going to come to Chicago. Although I was talking to Noah, I was like, you take away the Jordan years, especially just the 90s, the Bulls franchise is absolute garbage outside of Jordan. We've been bad. We are just so bad. But you think of Chicago basketball as like, oh, the gold standard. Like, no, we had 6 amazing years, and then we had about another 7 of Jordan. Like it was like the Jordan years was peak, but other than that, the Bulls have just been absolutely horrible. So I mean, it would shock me. But if he went to
Derrick
Chicago
Rose
and won,
years,
before
he got hurt, we looked so promising, and
Yeah.
him just getting hurt, just
yeah. And I'm telling you though, like
The young Luol Deng.
yeah, I got a Luol Deng jersey.
Yeah, there you go. And I'm telling you
I can
what,
go,
like
bang.
when we had Lonzo, before he got hurt, we were the number 1 seed. Like we looked good with Lonzo, DeRozan, Vooch. Like that team was pretty solid. But like, we're not. It's not a dynasty. So I think Chicago. Where do you think he will go, Drew?
I hope it's Cleveland.
I know.
I don't know. My brother has said the entire time Golden State.
Yeah.
And it seemed like that was like the early favorite, and now everything else is going. I mean, Philly's looking pretty good after they traded for Jaylen Brown and the way he could fit into that lineup.
Right.
But yeah, I'm really hoping that he bookends it and the legacy is Cleveland. You know what? We'll even trade for Bronny if you want us to.
Nate, where do you think he goes?
I want it to be Cleveland. I think he probably wants it to be Cleveland too. But I don't know. For some reason, I got a sneaking suspicion that he doesn't want to pay taxes. He wants to go to the Heat, maybe get another one there. He can play more golf there.
If he goes to the Heat, I would love for him to do another decision and just screw Cleveland again. That would, because they would, if he's doing a decision, it's going to make up for him screwing us the first time. And if he does the decision again and all Cleveland thinking, okay, he's coming back home and he goes, I'm taking my talents back to South Beach.
Then he can be with Bam Adebayo and Giannis and be like, not one. Yeah. Not one. Not one.
Well, I mean, because he knows Spoelstra, it should be he would make that team better. I still don't think that they're a top 2 seed team in the East, even with LeBron there. They have no depth at all. If he wants to win another title, I think going to the East somewhere would be the best. If he goes to Boston, I think now I'm telling you right now, I'm gonna say he ends up in Boston with the Jaylen Brown, because I think Boston is still a good team. You throw LeBron in there. I think it's a better fit with Tatum. I'm going to say he goes to Boston is it. But I think the best fit for him would probably be Houston, which I haven't talked about, but I think he ends up in Boston, and that's it. So Drew, before we go on to Nate and I's favorite current player, probably in Major League Baseball, Pete Crow Armstrong, let's go to a segment we're going to call The Druth Hurts. Drew, what do you want to talk about?
So the Lakers, right? LeBron is leaving. Luka's still there. They re-sign Austin Reeves.
Correct.
And then they trade for Walker Kessler. They needed a center. It was going to be maybe Jalen Duren or Walker Kessler, and they bring in Jalen Duren.
Or Walker Kessler.
They bring in, sorry. They bring in Walker Kessler. That's going to be important.
That's clarify.
The whole thing, yeah. They bring in Walker Kessler, and Stephen A. Smith from ESPN does not like it. Now, let me make it clear. I do not dislike Stephen A. Smith. I like him more than Max Kellerman. I'll definitely Skip Bayless, Mad Dog Russo. I do not dislike this man, okay? But here were his comments, and they did make me upset. So we're going to talk about it. I don't want to get this quote wrong, so I'm gonna read it here. Where do the Los Angeles Lakers think they are going with a bunch of white dudes? Your 3 top players are white dudes? Really? This ain't golf. This ain't baseball. Hell, it ain't even soccer. What y'all think this is? It's basketball. In NBA history, when have you seen your 3 most prominent players on a basketball team all be white, and that takes you to the promised land? You ain't going anywhere being led by 3 white dudes in today's generation of basketball. Rob Pelinka has made this white dude central. No wonder LeBron James walked out the door. And then they questioned him on it. He said, I ain't backing down. It's just facts. It's about basketball. So here's the thing.
Here's the truth.
Here is the truth. And the truth hurts. He says it's not about race. Okay. But let me tell you what he didn't say. He didn't say that Luka, Reeves, and Kessler could not win a championship. He didn't say these guys are not athletic enough to win a championship. He did not say they can't play enough defense to win a championship. He said 3 white dudes can't win a championship. And I'm sorry, that is racism, Chad. And so he's talking about, this is because he said it's because they're white dudes.
Exactly.
Look, let's talk about basketball. You want to make it about basketball? Let's make it about basketball. When in the history of the NBA have 3 white dudes made it to the promised land? Well, in the 80s, the Celtics had Danny Ainge, Kevin McHale, and Larry Bird, and they won a championship. Maybe 2, I think, with those guys.
They did.
I mean, so you got that. Let's talk about basketball, Chad. You want to talk about basketball? Let's talk about basketball.
We're talking basketball.
Let's talk about basketball. So the logo, Jerry West, white dude. But those things they're back in the day, right? So let's go recent. Points per game last year, the leader in the league, Luka, white dude. Rebounds per game, Jokic, white dude. Assists per game, Jokic, white dude. He's won 3 out of 6 MVPs. Wait, No, that's just the European infusion. No, rookie of the year, Cooper Flagg, white dude from Maine. Oh, maybe it's not him. Oh, Con Knipple, white dude from Wisconsin, right? This is not about basketball. Let's talk about the math, right? There's 30 teams in the NBA, 15 players per roster. That's 450 guys, right? 19% of the league is white. All right. Stephen A. Smith has no problem whatsoever that only 19% of the league is white, and it's fine.
It's fine.
Right? It's not a big deal.
Oh, the hat's off.
The hat's
hat
off.
is off.
Glasses are coming off. Oh, here we go. All right. He's got no problem with that.
Right.
If you break that down between 30 teams, that's less than 3 players a team.
Right.
That's 2.85 players per team. And Stephen A's got no problem whatsoever with the fact that every team could have just 3 white guys. He's got a problem with the fact if they all play at the same time.
Right.
And he has no problem whatsoever with the fact that, like, the 76ers last year had no white guys.
Yeah.
And you know what? Nobody had a problem with it. Because 1, it's not a problem. 2, nobody in today's world is going to question it because it would be called racism. Stephen A. Smith would go on his show and he would call it racism. The problem is, 1, it's the Lakers. Right? If this was the Jazz or the Hornets, maybe he doesn't question it. Okay. But it's the Lakers. So we got to question these things. 2, it's about percentages. Stephen A. Smith said nothing when Luka got a max deal. Stephen A. Smith said nothing last year when those 2 guys were 2 of the best players on the team, when there were 2 of them. Right? He said nothing when Austin Reeves got his max deal, the biggest max deal for an undrafted player ever. But when they trade for Walker Kessler and now they have 3, now it's a problem because percentages mean 2 out of 5 is 40% and 3 out of 5 is 60%. And we can't have a team with a majority of white guys.
Yeah.
Don't tell me it's not about race when you say Pelinka has made it white dude central and then imply that that's why LeBron left. We're talking about an American show today, right?
We are.
American hero. Martin Luther King Jr. had a dream. And his dream, in his speech, was that his 4 little children would not be judged by the color of their skin, but the content of their character. And if you go to Washington, D.C., and you see his monument, it's a beautiful monument memorial to him. It's a big stone. The front half has him, and the back half is unfinished. And it's unfinished on purpose because equality is not done. And what they're doing for equality, and it's never going to be done. But part of the reason it's never going to be done is because Stephen A. Smith and people like this make comments like this about white dude central, and that's why LeBron had to leave. Here's the thing. ESPN, you're not going to do this. Fine him. He's got plenty of money. Suspend him for a show or 2. It's not going to be a big deal. It would sting a little, but the truth hurts.
Here, I tell you what, he may, with that kind of content, he may have to be part of the theme intro. So here are my thoughts on it. Number 1, he's able to get away with it because in this day and age, you can't be racist to white people, even though the whole actual term of racism is being ostracizing a certain group of people because of race, and white is a race. So he's going to be able to get away with it. Number 2, the biggest problem I have with it isn't even that. It's the fact that he thinks Walker Kessler's the 3rd best player. I mean, you follow the NBA. That was his thing, is like, you can't win a title when your 3 best players are white dudes. Like, Walker Kessler's not that dude. Like, I'm telling you right now, Joker, because Joker's going to go to the Lakers next year. Book it. Jokic, Luka, and Reeves can absolutely win a title in this league. They can absolutely win a title. So that's my biggest thing. Like, when he said it's like Walker Kessler's like the 3rd best player, and now it's okay now because they got Colin Sexton, so like he's way better. 3rd, like I almost it's before March Chadness, I thought about calling the show like White Dude Central. That was one of the names for the show as well. So again, could you, because here's the last thing is too with the racism, like everything's got to be about race now. thanks, Obama. And if you want to do that, like nobody before Obama was president really never really thought about race. There are still racists here, but as a nation, people want to say we're a racist nation. We elected a black president twice. We're the worst racist nation in the world if that's the case. But until they started being able to do some of the stuff that Obama put in about using the media towards us and being able to keep infiltrating, and there's stats that say like the word racism and those types of things prior to Obama getting into office was non-existent in the media. So, but this is not what the show is about. But could you imagine if someone on there was like, you know what? Nigeria is not going to win a gold medal in swimming because they're all black. Like that would be like shocking. But the truth, here's the other truth though, of the truth hurts. He's not wrong. It's like, you're probably not. That's the other thing. He's not wrong. And so I have no problem with him saying it, but like everyone's going to throw a big fit because it's racist. It's not like things that are stereotypical. There's a lot of truth to them. That's why they're stereotypical. Like you are probably like when I can't remember who it was said that the Knicks were probably not going to be able to win a title with a 6-footer under guard because it just doesn't happen that often.
It was Stephen A. Smith.
Was it?
Yes.
I thought it was, no, there was a female.
He hated the Brunson move.
Maybe. Well, there was a female, and it might have been Doris Burke or somebody like that said, no, it wasn't Doris Burke. It was the former, it was Becky, is it Harmon? Yeah. She said it. She was on and said, the Knicks, you're not going to win a title with a short guard as your best player. And you're not. That, like, statistically, Drew, you know, it's just not going to happen. If you're building your entire roster, like, year after year, like short guard, it's not going to work out. Just like if you're going to build your roster on 3 white dudes, you're probably not going to win a lot in the NBA. It's just not going to happen. But I mean, I'm telling you, you can, like you said, Flag, Joker, Doncic. I mean, you can, like if you put a team together of Luka, Doncic, Knipple, Flag, Austin Reeves, that is a quality starting 5 in the NBA. That is good. So, but yeah, so
I talked to the boys about it, and they're like, "What do you think about it?" It's what Stephen A. said. I go, "It's racist, but he's also correct." So, but the thing I found most offensive is we're not talking golf, we're not talking baseball. It's like, does he not watch baseball? White guys are barely the majority anymore.
No, like in outside of hockey, like we're not the majority in most. Like football, maybe because we get like we own the kicker position. Offensive line is kind of mixed. Quarterback, like, so, you know, like it's again, and I wasn't offended like when what's his name? Cooper DeJean was the first starting white cornerback since like in the 90s when it was what's his face for the Giants. I can't think of his name right now. I was never mad like I need more cornerbacks in the NFL. You know why I wasn't? Because like black cornerbacks are just better. Like it's like I want the best people in the positions of any job, and that's I don't want to get into DEI and stuff like that. But like it's just there's so much wrong with what he said. But then like when it's all said and done, like you're probably not going to. So it's just in this day and age where it's all hot buttons. If the races were reversed, it would be cancel him. So it's not. So that's all I'm talking about. That Drew, I appreciate that, dude. That's like I can't wait till the Drew Hurts comes back in other areas. And before we get to another thing that I want to be a regular here, but it's going to make his debut for the Merica show with the Native of the Union address. Real quick, Major League Baseball, Pete Crow Armstrong, who, if you did not know, his mom, Pete Crow Armstrong's mom, what movie was she in, Nate?
I don't even know this.
You know? I thought you did. Okay. Pete Crow Armstrong's mom was the mom in Rookie of the Year.
Oh, that's right. I do remember that name.
Yeah. So if you want to know more about Rookie of the Year, go back and watch one of our shows on the baseball movie episode here at FantasySports.com. Exactly. PCA, he's such an up and down guy, but when he is hot, he is hot. So this is PCA's month of June. He batted 375. He batted over 375. Slugging percentage over 775. Over 80 total bases. More than 15 walks. 10 or more homers. 5 or more stolen bases. There have only been two other people in the entire history of Major League Baseball, which has been around for a while. Major League Baseball has been around for a while where three white dudes could win you an NBA title. Lots of times. The only other two that have done that were Babe Ruth, June of 1920, July of 1920, May of 1930. So he did it three times. And then Lou Gehrig, June of 1930. So I would not have wanted to play the Yankees in 1930. So that was a huge month for him. He's one of those guys I think we just need to lock up for sure as a Cub fan. Just keep him in the building from here on out. Nate, what are your thoughts on PCA's June?
Oh, it's incredible. It's, he's in great company with those names, and I love the fact that he's hated by fans of pretty much every other team. Give me a villain who's just kicking the crap out of people.
Yeah, he does the little pelvic pump a lot of times when he's going around the bases on home runs and stuff. Dude, he's a guy that you love when he's on your team, and you kind of just hate him when he's on the other team as well. Do you have any comments on Cubs, or are you just out on?
The Cubs are a trigger for me.
I know.
But no, I was impressed by his June. I was also impressed by Dansby Swanson. Just the way he just kind of turned it around.
Yeah.
He was like benched, and all of a sudden he's hitting home runs and having all these
sucked.
RBIs.
And then he's had like 5 home runs in the last 2 games. He's like not as hot as Junior Caminero when it comes to home runs. But I was looking at it. I think he's had like 5 home runs in the last 3 games, and he had like 2. So he's had like I think 9 home runs in like the last week or so.
Things.
Didn't he have 3 in that one game that they scored?
Yeah, 3 in one game, and then he had 2 in another game and 2 in another game.
I think the craziest thing about PCA right now is that he may be the runner-up to the MVP because it's probably still going to be Shohei Ohtani, but he will make less money this year in his base salary than Bobby Bonilla.
Exactly.
Happy Bobby Bonilla Day, guys.
We had Bobby Bonilla Day. It's so fun. That is coming to an end, though. I think I don't know remember how many years are
2035
left.
or 2037.
2035.
Yeah. And I said this to you guys, and then we'll move on to the bracket. So obviously,
what about the Nate of the
hilarious.
No, that's what we were doing the Nate of the Union before this. So this is like funny. So
thank you,
Bobby Bonilla, if you didn't know, when he signed his contract back in the 90s in the Mets, he decided, hey, it helped the Mets out, defer everything, just pay me like $1 million a year for 30 years, put it in annuity. He's making a ton of money. So the Mets did it because it helped their books. It was smart for Bonilla. He was almost done playing, so he's just getting this sum every year. And it's funny when they go like he's making more money than these guys and stuff. So obviously he has not played since the 90s. So he made $1.2 million this year, and he has not played since the 90s for the Mets. He obviously has a WAR of 0 because he has not played. The entire Mets infield makes $43 million. Their WAR is a negative 2.2. So technically, if you
it's not good.
It is not good.
Baseball
negative in base, like this is not golf. If you believe the metric of WAR, which I don't, and we could maybe get into that some other show. Bobby Bonilla is more valuable by that metric than the entire Mets infield. So I thought that was funny. We're getting the money. He is. He is. They could probably use him at third. Who knows? All right.
I bet he could still DH.
He probably could. That's the only foul ball I ever got in a game was Bobby Bonilla when I was in Camden Yards. It's a foul ball. I had it up I'm never going to use this. And my kids one day need a baseball, and I'm like, just use it's the Bobby Bonilla foul ball. It's not going to be.
They hit it over the fence, and then there was a dog that chased them.
Yeah, the Beast got it.
The Beast got it. Yes.
You had to go
he did not. Bobby Bonilla did not sign it. So, all right, we're going to hit the bracket here in a minute. It's the most American thing bracket, but before we hit that, I talked to Nate. And it said, hey, for the birthday of America, how about do a Nate of the Union address and kind of address how, like, the world right now. So, Nate, I'm going to give it over to you for your Nate of the Union address.
Yeah, I'll never forget when you mentioned it to me. You're like, "What do you think of that idea?" I said, "Chad, I'm irate that I didn't think of it first." Uh, so here we go. I tried to make it as short as humanly possible, but my fellow Americans, what are we doing? Our nation just turned 250 years old. And I know here in the Midwest, it was a pretty big deal, but I've talked to people during the bicentennial, and it was like the biggest thing ever. This should have been enormous. It should have been on every TV, every ad nationwide, every company trying to outdo each other with deals, every house trying to outdecorate each other. And it's just not, because why? Uh, Lately, it's not popular to be patriotic. If you like America, you're this or that. And why? Because some people don't like who the president is. A lot of people don't like who the president is. Guess what? You're not going to like every president. Nobody's going to like every president. It doesn't mean you should hate America. It's actually why you should love it. We get to vote, and majority wins. And sometimes the guy you wanted to win does, and sometimes he doesn't. But guess what? In 4 years, you get another crack at it. That's the beauty of this country. All right. So just stop with hating America because you don't like the president. Uh, you know, and if you want to spend your time bashing America and bashing the president, guess what? It's your right. You have the freedom to do that without having to worry about getting arrested. There's people in other countries that are getting arrested for likes and retweets. That's not freedom. Speaking of other countries, everybody's seen all these great videos posted by the Europeans that are in shock and awe about people just walking down the street, waving and smiling and saying hi to complete strangers. And they're completely mind blown by the sheer abundance of crap we have in this country. We're a country of big gulps, supersizes, Shaq-a-ronis, Skyways, free refills, Buc-ee's, and ranch dressing, and it's glorious. All right. As Bob Weir said, too much of everything is just enough. And we're spoiled. We take it for granted. Go back and listen to our podcast where we rank the best sodas, the best cereals, the best Little Debbie's. There's only one nation you get all of those choices, and it's this one. All right. But we just take it for granted. I have a friend, Thomas. His mom and brought him over when he was like in grade school from Venezuela, immigrated here, became a citizen, gave up everything and everyone she knew to give a better life for her and her son. And he said it makes him sick, his mom sick to her stomach when she hears Americans complaining about how bad they have it, not knowing how good they actually have it. And that's how you know it's the best country in the world. People are willing to leave everything and everyone and risk everything, maybe even their lives, just for a chance to live here. Anybody out there willing to die to live in Canada? No, I didn't think so. All right. So, and here's something that people have forgotten. You know what? You can disagree with somebody and still like them. You can disagree with somebody and still love them. We can have intelligent conversations about why we disagree. Instead, we're just running around like toddlers calling each other names. When did the adults in the room stop being the adults in the room? It's your guy's a doo-doo head. No, your guy's the doo-doo head. I hate you. I'm never talking to you again. We got people cutting ties with family and friends and loved ones over a paid politician in a suit. What are we doing? Because guess what? When you're at your absolute worst and the crap really hits the fan and true hardship's at your front doorstep, you know who's going to be there for you? Your family, your friends, your loved ones, your neighbors. Not your senator, not your congressman, not whoever you voted for president. We're choosing ideology over family, and that's just insane. We need to stop fighting with each other and start fighting together for what we all have in common. Because guess what? Everybody I know, right or left, we all want the same things. We want to feel safe. We want our kids to grow up safe, get a good education. We want to be able to afford gas and medicine and food and healthcare. And we want to stop sending our kids to die for other people's fights. But guess what keeps happening year in and year out, no matter who's in office? Price of living's too high. Medicine's too high. We've been at war for 93% of our country at the time. That's like roughly 17 years out of 250. Everything's staying the same, no matter who's in office. Because guess what? Republican or Democrat, once they get in office, their obligation is not to their constituents. It's to the people who paid to get them there. And right or left, it's the same people, the same deep pockets. It's big oil, big pharma, and war machine. And they keep wanting us to fight with each other. Let's have them fight over here while we keep doing the same thing over here. It's the sleight of hand that we all keep falling for. We need to come together. It's not too late to course correct. We need to start fighting for what we all want together instead of fighting over petty stuff. Everyone wants to see this world in black and white. It's not black and white. The world is shades of gray. So I beg you, I implore you, join me in the gray area. There's lots of room, and I would love the company. We need to start loving each other again. We need to start loving ourselves again. We need to start loving our freedom again. We need to start loving this country again. That being said, God bless you all, and God bless America.
Thanks, Nate. Good stuff. Like, it is not the 50 Shades of Gray area. That would not be.
No, that's freaky.
In. Yes, but like it is, like both sides suck. Like I'm telling you right now, the stone. Once you realize that it's the stonecutters, like the elite pedophile stonecutters that are running stuff, like then you're like, okay, we get on board. They don't. The fact that 80% of America wants voter ID, and the people that work for us, if you know civics class, decide, nah, we're not going to do that. So there's so many different issues. You've got, Mandami on the day before the 4th telling us how bad this country is. Like, dude, you've been in this country for like, what, 3 years? You don't get to tell me what to do. But that's the biggest issue is, like, if we say we love America, like, we're somehow, like, that's, like, taboo, like, oh, that guy, and then they just lump you in, then you must be MAGA. Like, no, like I'm gonna tell you right now, and then we'll move on the bracket. But this is like, number one, we're not gonna be here for the 300th probably. Drew maybe, because he's a lot younger than us. But
I'm hitting triple digits, Chad. You're underestimating me.
So I'm going all out here. So I totally like, so like it's I totally lost track because I went on that thing. What did I just talk about? Like Mandami was doing that. Something else I was saying.
The crazy thing to me is that so many of the people that complain about it don't actually vote.
Right.
The voter turnout is always very low.
Right. And it's just like you can't, like, you can. I voted for Trump 3 times. Like the first time I voted for him because I remembered Ross Perot. And I always liked the idea of, oh, this guy's not a politician.
Can I finish?
This guy's not a politician. I like the idea of that. And then he was such a nut job. I'm like, oh my gosh, like what is going on? We can't have that in the White House. And I thought Trump was like, I knew there could be like I like the idea of someone that's not in the political realm in there. And then about 11 days in, I'm like, this could end up not going well. But I did it because I liked that idea. And I thought that his opponent was probably one of the most evil, vile people that live on planet Earth. And then things were going well. If you remember, things were going well before COVID hit. And that's why I voted for him again. And then Sleepy Joe, I was like, why do I want him? Like, things were going well before COVID hit. And then I voted for him the 3rd time because things just went to crap. I saw the communist, socialism, Marxism was kind of coming in. Joe was probably dead since like 2018, if you believe some of the stuff. We have a conspiracy thing later on, but also like the previous administration between the Trump administrations tried to destroy our brother Superfly's life with a lot of shady stuff. So I voted for him 3 times, but I'm not MAGA. Like, I don't think everything that Trump does is great. I think a lot of stuff he does is absolute horrible, but the one thing I will say is I wouldn't change my vote. He's like one of the few presidents that I think actually like America, wants America to succeed, which I've never understood that as well. Like, I didn't vote for this guy, so I hope he fails. Why would, like, I don't like the pilot, so I hope he crashes while I'm on the plane. Like, I don't understand why you would want, I don't care like I don't like Craig Counsell, but I don't want the Cubs to like suck.
I also really don't like Craig Counsell.
No, I don't. Give me the Brewers manager. I love it. No, like, but I'm still rooting for the Cubs to succeed because I'm a Cubs fan. I'm an American.
He has a very go. Face.
He does. So that's enough of that. And I want to say, because I know there's going to be times I want to get a little crazy and go off on a political tangent, but I don't want to for several reasons. So if I have a problem with somebody, like, man, Bernie Sanders has been clamoring about oligarchy since 1993. We're rapidly approaching oligarchy for the last 30 years. But guys like him, Mondami, and stuff like that, instead of going out against their policies and stuff, because I don't follow that as much, if I'm going to be like, you know what, Mondami, I could keep Mondami from getting 10 rebounds in a WNBA game. That's how I'm going to phrase things if I don't like political stuff, is that, hey, I could probably keep that guy or gal from 10 rebounds in a WNBA game. All right.
Tim Walsh for sure.
Dude, what he just did, don't even get me started. We do not have time for that. And
I just found out about this yesterday, and it was
off the rails. That dude. All right, let's get to the bracket.
They're talking brackets, y'all. We love those brackets, y'all. They're talking brackets, y'all. We love those brackets, y'all.
And I told my wife, this is going to be a 2-hour show, because I knew with Merica, all the stuff we had, we're not going to be able to do this again. So let's go. All right, here it is. There's been some changes and stuff, so we'll talk about this stuff. I'm going straight down like I always do. 116, the American flag versus country music. 8-9, Rocky Hulk Hogan, which we will have a lot to say about that. 413, Bald Eagle versus Chuck Norris. Capitalism versus Cookouts, the 512. You got Obesity versus Apple Pie. Yes, done on purpose. Making Great Movies, the Statue of Liberty. Fireworks versus the song God Bless the USA. George Washington and NASCAR round out the top bracket. Bottom bracket, Freedom, the #1 overall seed against Uncle Sam. Wars against prescription drug advertising. Guns drive-thrus, the 413, the 512. Football versus Mount Rushmore. The Declaration of Independence versus fairs. Imperial measurement system versus winning. Walking on the moon. Pickup trucks to round it out. Thanksgiving versus big gulps. Nate, what's a snub?
Oh, go to Drew snubs. I have my list somewhere.
All right, Drew, what's a snub?
Well, Nate and I both said this could easily be 64. I mean, so we could have plenty of long list of things that are very American that probably wouldn't necessarily win, but probably deserve to be in it. For me, the biggest one is probably baseball. Do I think baseball is as big as it once was? No, but it was our national pastime for a really long time. So baseball not being on here is probably the biggest snub. And then shout out to my dad. He's a big comic book guy. We were talking about this, and one of the first things he said was Captain America. And then he also said Superman for Truth, Justice, and the American Way. And I was like, yeah, those aren't on there. But yes, so probably baseball. I mean, you can make quite the list. In-sync garbage disposals. Like every time I do the dishes now, I was like, oh, this is really an American thing. This is pretty cool.
Yeah. I thought about baseball, but the way baseball is now, it's I think Americans don't make up the majority. Back in the day, it was. So I think it's just changed. I didn't think about Captain America, but Superman was never going to make the list because he's from Krypton. So he's an illegal immigrant in this country.
All right. Anything deep fried, especially the deep fried cookies, Oreos.
Just anything.
Fried butter. Laser tag. PBR. What are we doing? Elvis. And
Dad would be very upset.
The biggest one is probably jorts. We're all thinking
jorts. Yeah, Dad would be mad that the PBR was not on there. I think after seeing it yesterday, I was like, we probably should have put like the hot dog eating contest. No other country.
Oh, Joey Chestnut should have been on here.
He should have been. So, all right, let's start with the first one. The American flag against country music. Now, the American flag, like every country has a flag, but I truly believe like the American flag is probably the most iconic. There's probably only a couple others that like Canada, just because we see it more often, and then Japan. If you put other flag, and I know the Chad flag because it's my name. If you put the other flags out, I may like in Russia, but I'm like I probably could not name a lot of the flags. So that's on there. And in country music, I have never seen any country music artist not American. I don't even know if there is. Like, could you imagine like a Japanese country music? It's just weird. Like other genres, you have other countries, but I don't know if we have I'm not a big country music guy. If we have country music groups that are not American.
On the Ween album 12 Country Hits, there is a song called Japanese Cowboy, which is worth a listen.
There you go. Awesome. All right. So American flag, like, Drew, do you like country music?
My daughter Maddie loves country music, so I'll listen to it with her quite a bit. It's not my favorite. I mean, I do think the fact that it's country music, the United States is that country.
We are that country, baby.
There's probably a number of genres that we could probably consider American. Blues, jazz, hip hop, are probably American, but it's the American flag.
It is the American flag.
Stars and bars, baby.
Exactly. So this one's on here. Like, Nate fought hard for Rocky. And, you know, I was like, we'll put it on there. And then I added Hulk Hogan because we had to have a rematch of Rocky and Thunderlips.
He's a real American.
He is the real American.
And he made real American Hulk Hogan better.
Yes. And when I was mowing the grass yesterday, I made an American playlist, a Merica playlist, and half of it was the Rocky 4 soundtracks. I'm like, Rocky does deserve to be on this list.
Little
so
known,
I put up
the Rocky 4 soundtrack does cure ED, correct? It does. Little known fact. You don't need to listen to the Rocky 4 soundtrack.
So Nate, I'll let you go first. Rocky and Hulk Hogan. I knew this would be a tough one for you, but I had to get a Thunderlips reference in this episode.
It is a Rocky 3 off, and Grace and I just finished watching Rocky 3 a few hours ago. Yeah, Hulk Hogan is the real American, but we saw the fight. I think Rocky, you know, he takes his beating from Hulk Hogan in that, but he ends up picking him up and throwing him out of the ring.
Right.
Rocky and Rocky 4 single-handedly ends the Cold War. So it's got to be Rocky, right?
Drew.
I was never a huge fan of the Rocky movies. I know.
Nate's gone.
Nate's out.
This is not going to be two white dudes.
But when I think about Hulk Hogan, right? He was the real American, right? Fight for the right of every man. But it also helps me to remember the American dream, daddy. Right? So I think about Dusty Rhodes, and I think about Hulk Hogan and wrestling and what it meant to everybody. But also, I grew up in an era where when I was a little kid, Hulk Hogan had went to WCW and he had turned to Hollywood Hulk Hogan, and the American theme was not really a big deal as much in my formative years growing up. So I will go with Nate Dogg, and I will go with Rocky.
Yes, he solved the Cold War. If he could change and yous can change, which that may be one of the most unrealistic things to ever happen in a movie, is the Russians siding with Rocky in the midst of the Cold War, while
right
the
in front of
Russians,
Gorbachev,
right in front of Gorbachev, who would have them all murdered, because that's how a non-free country works, and that's what you guys are voting into a lot of these places. All right. I could keep Gorbachev under 10 rebounds in the WNBA game. All right, the bald eagle, Chuck Norris. So the bald eagle obviously is on here. People may be like, why is Chuck Norris on here? Well, Chuck Norris, I realized, because it was just we had a whole list of stuff, and you go on there. Chuck Norris kind of embodies like 5 great American things all in once, like cowboy, you know, fighting, justice, just who he is, man. Chuck Norris. But
beards
can Chuck just a fist under his beard. Plus, Chuck Norris, the only one I think on this list so far that had his own bracket. So
correct.
Does Chuck Norris beat a bald eagle, Drew? Not like in real life, but like in this bracket, because you can't beat a bald eagle because I believe it's an endangered species.
Yeah, I don't think he does. Personally, when I look at all the different things with Chuck Norris and all the different sayings and things like, nothing is like specifically American. Also, I prefer a much different martial arts. I practice jujitsu.
It's up and coming. I don't know if you've heard about it. It's catching on.
It's catching. Nate, are you going bald eagle as well?
Well, little known fact, did you know bald eagles can't kill Chuck Norris because he's an endangered species?
That is true.
Chuck Norris would win in a fight, but this is most American things, and bald eagle is winning.
That is true. I know Chuck Norris is trying to help kids with AIDS, but it is the bald eagle. Capitalism. Walker said I had AIDS. All right, capitalism versus cookouts. This is a weird one, like, because capitalism people want to say is a bad thing. No one ever says a cookout is a bad thing. Nate, what are your thoughts on both capitalism and cookouts?
Capitalism is a great thing. Don't get confused. All right.
They are.
Do not, because if we spread it evenly, you're still not going to get more. All right, you're still going to be in the same spot.
Right.
But I think to your point, you're going to have people that fight you on that. And there's nobody who's been like, you know what I'm not a big fan of? Cookouts. Never
Right.
will be said.
Drew, do you agree? Cookouts over capitalism.
When I was in 9th grade, we had a student teacher, and he came in and he puts his hands both down on the table. He goes, "I feel sorry for you kids." We're all like, okay. He's like, "You're the first generation that's not going to grow up hating communism." And I've never forgotten that. I was like, all right, Mr. Runk. That was his name, Mr. Runk.
Coming in hot.
No, it's cookouts, Chad. As we think about the different things we could have put on this list that we didn't, I think they kind of get grouped in cookouts: hot dogs, hamburgers, barbecue. It's cookouts.
That's why I kind of just put cookouts on there, because like
Dr.
it
Pepper
encompasses
sausages.
off all of it. Yeah. As much as capitalism is the best form, like it totally destroy, like all the people that think socialism is great. No, we have millionaires complaining about trillionaires not paying enough taxes. Like what you guys are so much fraud you're using in our taxes already. And the fact that we're okay with this. This is like, you're taking our money. Like that's the whole reason we started this country, because they were taxing our tea.
Do you know why we need the money, Chad?
To fix roads. And I drive through Ohio.
No.
I'm like, you're not fixing
To
the roads,
have
Ohio.
cookouts.
They have cookouts.
Yeah.
Exactly. So no matter what I say, cookouts win. I think I would agree. But capitalism is not a bad thing, people. You've been hoodwinked into thinking that, because how great is it that you could become very wealthy because you invented something, or you just worked hard and you whatever,
Or you started a podcast where you ranked the best name of farts.
Exactly. That's it. Like, you can do this. It's great, but cookouts win. Everybody loves a cookout. All right. Obesity versus apple pie. I paired them up on purpose. I thought about putting type 2 diabetes, but I agree. Nate says, I think obesity is just going to be funnier. Yes, it is. So obesity versus apple pie, because there's always baseball. What was it? Baseball, football, apple pie, and Chevrolet. Was that the big thing back then? So apple pie is just
Football
always
wasn't in it.
no football is baseball.
It was baseball,
Something
apple pie, and Chevrolet.
apple pie. It was something else there.
Yeah.
Maybe it's hot dogs. I don't know.
Commercial was probably before my time.
It was George.
It was when white dudes ruled the NBA, is how old that commercial is. All right, obesity, apple pie. Drew, first of all, like, apple pie, your favorite pie? I know your favorite pie is 3.14. ...
True. Absolutely. I actually don't like apple pie.
Really?
I'm not a big fruit eater.
Like, you guys get mad at me about my take on Uncle Sam, and this guy over here doesn't even like
but
apple
it's
pie.
a food. It's a taste. It's not a concept.
We'll get to it. We'll get to it.
Political cartoon. Yeah, I don't care for apple pie, but when you think about American, like, it's as American as apple pie.
It is.
Now, obesity is huge. Right? It's
Pun intended.
Pun intended. Right? 40% obese in the U.S., 9.4% severe obese, and 31% overweight. Only one of these things can you become by eating more of what the other. Right? So I think it's probably obesity.
Okay, Nate.
I'm not a fan of apple pie either. Sorry.
Wow. Okay. That's fine.
I'm not.
You're allowed to not like apple pie.
I'm not a big fan of obesity either, but it is.
Nate loves obesity. The fact that, like, if this was like 50 years ago, like, Drew and I would probably be considered obese.
Morbid.
But now we're just normal. It's like, it's crazy. So, but no, yeah. So, are you taking obesity over apple pie?
I think I am.
I am too. I do love apple pie. I think apple pie. I mean, I'm just talking normal. Like, if you make a good peanut butter pie, that is the best. But apple pie, I think, is my favorite of, like, the fruit pies, and I like it more than even pumpkin pie. But obesity is the most. It may be the most American thing. We're the most obese country.
You don't see any Europeans or Asians on my 10,000 pound life. So.
No, or taking Ozempic. So obesity wins. It rolls to the second round. All right. Making great movies, the Statue of Liberty. We do have some monument type things here. I picked the Statue of Liberty. I think that is like, if there was a monument that was going to represent, like that's the Statue of Liberty is it. Even though it wasn't something we created, we bought it or stole it. Who knows?
It was gifted.
It was gifted, maybe. Who knows? I don't know. I didn't like history very well. But making great movies, I thought about it. I added this on there because, like, yeah, do other countries make movies? Yes. Are most of the countries that make movies bad? Yes. Like Bollywood, like, have you seen those? They're entertaining. Like there's like Parasite. There's some good type movies and stuff, but a lot of it they're just weird, like artsy. Like, dude, no one's like, I was watching Independence Day yesterday. It was on at the one place we're at. Like no one's making those movies, man. We make the best movies. As great as the Statue of Liberty is, I'm going with making great movies because I've been to the Statue of Liberty. You've probably been to the Statue of Liberty. Nate was with me when we went to the Statue of Liberty. We went with our family. We had the foam.
We didn't look like tourists at all with the foam Lady Liberty hats going around.
We did not. I was probably wearing Coach's bike shorts because that was my go-to back in the day. Which is probably why I
pull over Cubs jersey.
I probably was, and so I did not date until I was like a junior in high school. But making great movies, like everyone loves movies. I'm going making great movies. Drew,
it's the Statue of Liberty, Chad.
Man,
I mean, as you think about all
that's such a teacher answer.
All the different people that have come to our country in the days of Ellis Island, what was the iconic thing that they would see that was like their first glimpse of America?
Fog.
It was the Statue of Liberty.
It was.
And there's so many bad movies, right? You could
there are
good movies,
like The Room,
there's
Uncut
also
Gems.
really bad movies.
Chud.
It's the Statue of Liberty. Nate, I know you have to agree with me.
She's French. She's not even American. I don't think she went through the proper process to become a U.S. citizen. No, but I think the heart of me does want to say making great movies. But if you ask anybody, it's the first thing you think of when you think of America. Statue of Liberty is going to be 90% of the answer. So Lady Liberty, even though she's a French gal, we'll let her go on another round at least.
Yes, at least she saved her pits. That's good because she'd be holding that up. That would be weird. All right, fireworks. God bless the USA. They kind of go hand in hand now because I don't know if Drew remembered. I don't know how old you were. Nate remembered that when that song first came out, like that's all you heard. And it's still kind of a banger. It's cheesy because it was made by, but it's still a banger for America. You cannot be not patriotic when you hear that song. It's just like, and then they always play with the fireworks. I know fireworks are technically like made in China, but nobody does fireworks like the United States of America. We do like you hit a home run at a home game, fireworks. You know, July 8th, because you still have stuff, fireworks on a Tuesday night, keeping kids awake and dogs going crazy. So it's, I think, kind of seen as an American thing. Nate, I know you know my take on the fireworks, so we'll go with you first. Fireworks or the song God Bless America?
Shout out to Lee Greenwood. Came on yesterday when we were at one of the cookouts, and Kelly was like,
"Wait, hold on a second.
You just said my family went to go see Lee Greenwood."
Or God Bless the USA.
Okay.
God bless. Yeah.
So they're different songs.
They are different songs.
Okay. Sorry, Nate.
Yes.
Kelly was like, when I was growing up, we went to go see Lee Greenwood in concert so it was a huge deal when that song came out.
Yeah, and that seems like your father-in-law's style of music. Also,
1000%.
He probably
and it is a banger,
but before the hip.
Fireworks may be made in China, but I'm willing to bet all the gear we're currently wearing also is. So it's fireworks, man.
Drew.
God Bless the USA is my favorite patriotic song.
There you go.
But it's fireworks.
As much as I think fireworks are cheesy, it is most definitely fireworks. I mean, we set them off every 4th of July. And even other holidays, that doesn't make sense. WEBN does it for, is it late? Did they do it on Labor Day?
It's on Labor Day weekend. It's to celebrate their birthday, the birthday of WEBN. And that fireworks show is second to none.
Oh, it's so good. It's there on the bridge. It's amazing because they still do like the fireworks off the bridge going down.
Yeah.
You see that the fireworks Was it in Boston? It was somewhere like it was Brooklyn. Like the Brooklyn Bridge caught fire when they're doing the fireworks show this week. For
Are
a
you
real
sure it
brief
wasn't
moment.
on fire already? I mean, it, sounds like
It may have been
they're
on
still
fire.
celebrating the Knicks championship.
They're still mad about Ben Simmons sucking. All right, which I could not see that. We may have to have a whole segment on Ben Simmons, like how that did not pan out to him be great. George Washington and NASCAR. George Washington, he's on the quarter, he's on the dollar bill, the first president of this great nation. He's on his shirt.
That's the ultimate word.
NASCAR is such a I was going to say a different type. It is such an American sport. And I tell you, have either of you guys been to like a NASCAR event or even like a dirt track event before?
I have not.
Have you, Nate? Like my buddy was like big into it, and we have some dirt tracks here. So I took the kids there, and I'm like, this is going to suck. It's weird how like watching just cars go around fast, making left turns is still like mesmerizing. Like I would watch NASCAR. The only reason I watch NASCAR is because I was getting in fantasy NASCAR because I'm a degenerate.
Of course, you have a problem.
I have a problem. And I would watch it, and it was cool to watch, but then after about like 4 minutes, I'm like, all right, I'll just come back later on once because there's like 400 more laps of this. Because you're just waiting for the crash is what it is, and hope like your guy that you pick to win or in your fantasy team is not in it. So I don't think this is even close. I don't think we even have to have a discussion. We can talk the greatness of George Washington later on. It's George Washington.
I agree.
All right. We got freedom because I gotta have some time for this next one. Freedom and Uncle Sam. So Drew, why don't you start us off?
All right, people out there in the world, let me explain to you how these things work. So Chad often wants to get our thoughts on what should be on a bracket. And so Nate and I will create a list of things that we think should be on the bracket. And often it's just like off the top of our head. It's not like things that we've spent a ton of time researching. And I believe that when we did this, I think Uncle Sam was number 3 on Nate's list, and he was number 6 on my list. But the way this works, guys, is that it's March Chadness, and Chad does whatever he wants. And he was like, not putting him on there because Chad hates Uncle Sam. Tell us about it, Chad.
All right, so I got to go back. I said in the thing that Uncle Sam is a hack. I could pull it up exactly what I said because I don't want to misquote myself. I don't want to misquote myself. So I basically said Uncle Sam was like the Santa of the United States, in which it would sound like, oh, that's a good thing. It's not. So it was ketchup. We found out was not an American thing. It was not made in America. So I said I put Uncle Sam in for ketchup, which is a statement I never thought I'd ever have to type to anybody. And then Drew put imagine him not being in there in the first place. And then I kind of got salty about it. So, but it wasn't like this was like this was like kind of an immediate text. So this must have been sitting in the back of my brain. I put Uncle Sam is a hack. He's the Santa Claus of America. Everyone loves him, but he undermines the true meaning of what he represents. He turns a blind eye to the corrupt government he is the face of by recruiting young American men into wars we shouldn't be involved in, all the while wearing stilts in parades and promoting Labor Day sales on household appliances. Uncle Sam can suck it. So here's the thing about Santa. When I worked at Walmart as the HR manager, like we would have the newsletter. I think I've talked about it before, but in one of the newsletters, I just put it at the Christmas one. I put Santa is just Satan with the N in the middle, because if you look at, and it was just more of a observation when you look at the word Santa and the word Satan, it's just the N is in a different place. It's the same letters. That was the only thing I had. I thought it was interesting. I believe it was on a Mr. Robinson's Neighborhood when he was doing the shuffling of the letters at a Christmas thing one, which was in my head still. And once it went out, I had 3 people come up to me who were also Christians. And the first one was like, I can't believe that you put that in there. I'm like, what are you talking about? It's like the Santa Satan thing. It's like on the newsletter. He's like, yeah. It's like, why? He's like, that's not right. I'm like, okay. And then someone else comes like, that's not right what you did with that Santa Satan. I'm like, what do you like? And then I was getting mad. And then the
him personally?
The third guy came in. He's like, And he just kind of gave me this look like, what? He's like, the Santa Satan thing? And I'm like, what? He's like, that's just wrong. I'm like, and then I had enough. I'm like, what's wrong with it? And he's like, it just seems wrong. I'm like, okay, let me ask you something. Christmas is the birth of Jesus. Satan, his goal is to take away the glory of Jesus. Who does that more at Christmas time than Santa? So am I wrong? Probably not. And so that's why I said he's like the Santa of it, because he's like, oh, like everyone, hey, Uncle Sam, like, we want you. Yeah, come fight this war we shouldn't even be in and have your children murdered in a useless war that we got into because we needed oil or whatever nonsense the pedophile stonecutters were doing. Uncle Sam, I'm telling you right now, I could keep you from 10 rebounds in a WNBA game. So Uncle Sam obviously is not beating Freedom, and that's why he's at a 16 seed. I don't care. I've never liked Uncle Sam. I always preferred Aunt Jemima.
Well, and to piggyback on the Santa Satan thing, same letters in their names. They both wear red, and they are never seen at the same place at the same time. So you might be onto something.
That is true. Freedom's winning though, right?
Yeah, you have the freedom to hate Uncle Sam.
I have the freedom to hate Uncle Sam. Exactly. All right.
Santa.
And I don't mind Santa. I don't mind Santa. It was just like the point wasn't that. But then I hate when people are outraged about something, but they don't stop and think why they're outraged. Because if they did, like, oh, I don't even know why I'm outraged. It's just because it seems like I should be outraged because you said Satan was Santa. It's like, no, I did not say Satan was Santa. I just said
I love Tim Allen. How dare you blaspheme Santa Claus?
Exactly.
The other thing we figured out is ketchup got booted, and then ranch dressing got booted.
Yeah.
So Chad hates condiments, which I heard that in the World Cup, the people that have visited, like, they want to take our ranch dressing home.
That's why ranch dressing made it, because I did not realize people in other countries were like mesmerized how and I think we take ranch dressing for granted, but I took ranch dressing out. I can't remember what I added in, but I was like, ranch dressing is not a great topic to talk about, really. Especially now, like back in like 1982. Holy cow, when ranch dressing first came out, we could have a whole show on that. All right. This is a fun one. Wars, because we are known for wars. Nate talked about it in his Native Union address. And then prescription drug advertising. We are only one of 2 countries that allow prescription drug companies to advertise to the people. Do you guys know who the other country is?
It's New Zealand.
Yeah, I didn't know. So I knew Drew would have that. So I'm glad you did, because if you guys would have both said no, I was like, I don't either. But I've got.
I was actually asking. I didn't know.
So yeah, so it's ridiculous that we allow that, because don't even get me started on the pharmaceutical company and it's ridiculous. So which is this? This is a weird one. Drew, like, do you have a lean? Like, it's weird to say, like, I'm for wars, but this is not like, I'm not for wars. But like, what's more American is what we're doing.
Yeah, I think it probably depends on the war, right? And the reason to going to war. Obviously, the American Revolution is the reason we're here now. Yep. Obviously, the Civil War is the reason it's still a country. But I got to tell you, I thought about this one all week because I was like, this one's going to be tough. But we've been watching The Rookie on Hulu.
Oh, Nathan Fillion. I love Nathan Fillion.
We've been starting to watch that, and there's ads, and like every single ad is
everyone
Ozempic and whatever it is, like every single one of them. And I just thought all week long, this is such an American thing that every time I watch this, and the thing is with the ads, they're the same ones.
Everybody's happy in this.
It's like,
hey,
the 15-minute break, these ads, the 45-minute break were the same exact ads for the same exact drugs, but there were so many of them. I was like, I think it's probably prescription drug advertising.
Nate,
the most American thing about those advertisements is don't take such and such if you're allergic to the exact same product. It's like, hey, you might be a bumbling idiot, so if you're allergic to this, don't take it. But no, we're back-to-back World War champs, all right? That's all I got to say. Wars.
And I am wearing my 1776 national championship shirt. I should there should be a 2-time. This shirt, and if you like just weird 80s, just funny shirts, like they've got one of a ghost in a baseball outfit with a baseball helmet, go to super70sports.com. Not a sponsor, but His X account is so great, and they have so much merchandise. I want to have one with that ghost that says Ghost Runner. It's great. They have so much stuff. It's so fun. I got it there. So shout out to Super 70 Sports. So I think as much as it is like we're only one of 2 countries that do prescription drug advertising, I think everybody hates it. I'm going with the fact that we have won 2 wars. The war, it was a war that we started this country. So I think I'm going to have to go war as well. Speaking of wars, guns and drive-throughs is another fun little matchup. Because I think people, when they think America, we didn't invent guns. We're not the only people that have guns, that kind of stuff. But we probably have the most guns, which is another thing when, again, it's the 4th of July thing. I'm going to talk about America stuff. When Jan 6 happened and people want to say it was an insurrection, I'm like, okay, do you really think that who has the most guns? Probably MAGA. Like, you think if MAGA was planning an insurrection, they would come unarmed? And if it was an insurrection, I'm telling you right now, it would have been over as quick as the Rousey Carano fight. If MAGA, if they wanted to take over the Capitol, they would have done it quickly. It was not an insurrection.
It would have been quicker than it takes to go through a drive-through.
Exactly. Exactly. Well, maybe not Chick-fil-A. They get you in and out quick. And also guns. Yeah, also guns too. If we ever have a civil war, like it's like the red states are going to win easily. We have all the guns. We have all the manly dudes, and we're going to win that as well. So as much as I think it's going to happen, I'm not worried because I think I'm on the better team. Guns and drive-throughs. Drew, do you have any thoughts? I know like we all have thoughts on drive-throughs. I think drive-throughs are great because if you don't have to get out of your car. But drive-throughs with everything, like you can pick up your prescription drugs through a drive-through. Now we have like curbside pickup and stuff. Guns are one of the founding principles of this nation. Guns get a bad rap because bad people do bad things with guns. Drew, do you have any thoughts on either? Or you probably have thoughts on both.
Yeah, I think the drive-throughs, the big thing is so many things are drive-throughs at this point. But I mean, how frustrated can you get in a drive-through, right? You could be, shout out to the Weird Al episode, Trapped in a Drive-Through, which is a terrible song.
Go check out the Weird Al episode, which was Drew's debut on the show on fanstreamforce.com.
But it's the Second Amendment. It's the right to bear arms. I mean, it's the foundational thing in our country. I think it's probably guns.
Yep. Nate, I believe you're probably on guns as well.
Yeah, it's the right to bear arms, not the right to get a chalupa without having to get out of your car. And if we're going to blame guns for all of the gun deaths, then we're blaming drive-thrus for obesity.
Exactly. I'm going to go this way because there's guns on that as well.
Can't see them.
They can't see. No, because they're not existent. I'm in a blue state. My I have no guns. They took my guns are not there. They took my guns away. And again, the reason we have guns, and I know people want to say, well, it's not what the founding fathers didn't think somebody make. No, they knew what they're talking about. They're like, if we're having a free country, we need guns, not like to protect from our own government. Because again, Joe Biden twice in his 4 years said that Americans couldn't beat the U.S. government because they have the tanks, which I will pull in a great Doofenshmirtz quote when he's like, says something like, it's weird that this happened twice. You know, if I had a nickel for these happened, it only happened twice, but it's weird that it happened twice. It's weird that he would mention it twice, that the government could destroy his own citizens because they had the bigger machinery. So shout out Sleepy Joe. All right, football, Mount Rushmore. I think football has taken baseball over as the American sport. If there was ever any kind of football in the Olympics, we would win. It would not even be close. Every year would be the 92 Olympics in basketball. We would destroy everybody on that. However, Mount Rushmore, another iconic thing, you have the fact that it's very American, I think, for me, because like you see a mountain, it's like, oh, that's a nice mountain. What's American about it? Oh, we're going to carve presidents and founding founder type people in the side of this mountain, baby. That's how much it is. Plus, it is now like a standard for if you want to talk about the best thing. Hey, what's your Mount Rushmore of cereals, or what's your Mount Rushmore of, rock bands and stuff. So it's kind of become part of the vernacular of, of great things. So Nate, I think that's a tough one for me. Where are you leaning?
Well, Mount Rushmore's kind of just okay. Like it's a mountainside with some faces on it. Football. I'm not in a fantasy Mount Rushmore league. I'm in 2 fantasy football leagues. Chad, you're probably in like 12 or 13.
I'm
I want
drafting
to say
right
football,
now.
but if you ask Roger Goodell, it's more international. So I think Mount Rushmore goes another round just for the same reason Lady Liberty does. You think of it as one of the main monuments of America, and as you said, it has taken a pop culture turn into ranking your favorite anything in any category. What's your Mount Rushmore? So I'm going Mount Rushmore.
I'm going to go football because, like you said, if Mount Rushmore didn't exist, my life would not change at all. If football didn't exist, I would be a lot sadder. Plus, if Mount Rushmore didn't exist, you would just be like, what is your final 4 of this? You would just change it. And then it would eventually be like, hey, what's your March Chadness of this? Because we'd have gone so huge. I'm pretty sure Drew gave me this look like he's going to go Mount Rushmore because he's a teacher. Even though, and he's a Cowboys fan, so that's probably why he's not very high on football here recently.
I am going football. Chad.
Yes, let's go, Drew.
Because I love Mount Rushmore, but I got to tell you, I'm never going to see it because it's kind of out in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah. So you've never been?
I've
never been. I don't. Nate, you probably never.
And I mean, I feel like I would have to have another reason to go out that way and do other things out that way.
Yeah, you're not like, hey, we're
see an NFL game.
The main trip, the whole crux of it is Mount Rushmore, and then whatever else happens. Mount Rushmore is like you said, as we're doing other stuff. Oh, we're kind of by Mount Rushmore. Let's go check it out.
Although it was pretty cool the other night to see the fireworks over.
Yeah.
Mount Rushmore.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, it's football.
Football, excellent.
You can see it on your way to see the biggest ball of twine in Minnesota. It's
you
on
can
the way.
Exactly. All right. Declaration of Independence fairs. Like fairs is a U.S. thing, but fairs kind of suck. Declaration of Independence. I'm just gonna go through. Not that I'm here looking for time, but some of these we don't even have like fairs. It's like probably ranch dressing should have been there. If next time we do this is gonna be ranch dressing.
I think fairs is where Nate brings in deep fried foods.
Exactly.
But.
And fairs are right, but it's like they're just fairs would be cool if like amusement parks did not exist now. So, this is like imperial measurement system winning. Like again, we're not the only winning isn't just an American thing, but like America, we just think we win. We are the best. And to prove that, we have decided to continue to be the only. Well, this is even more American than prescription drug advertising because everybody else in the entire world is on the metric system.
There's actually 2 other countries, Chad.
Is there really? Yeah. Who are they?
I think it's Liberia and Myanmar.
Yeah, everybody knows that. What the heck? Dude?
Everybody knows. I don't know if you put like if I was on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, if you put like which one of these is not a country and you put that Myanmar on there, I would have probably picked that one. I was like, that's a Pokemon character. That's not a country.
That's where Jay Peterman goes in Seinfeld. Burma.
He does. Well, I know Burma.
Myanmar.
All right, there you go. All right, Drew? Do you like this measurement system, or do you wish we were on the metric system?
No, I like the American metric system. The American measurement system.
The fact that we don't know, we use cups and quarts and stuff, and we got to Google. Hey, ChatGPT, how many cups are in a quart?
Although it is super interesting that you go to like any school anywhere and they've got a football field measured in yards that's surrounded by a track where every race is going to be in meters.
And it's such a great part of the Nate Bargatze, George Washington sketch.
Yes.
As well. Are you going the imperial measurement system?
Yeah, metric system sucks. Metric system sucks.
Excellent. Yeah, winning is fun to say that, but yeah, our metric system, buddy, deal with it. We're never converting over there until the socialists take over.
Charlie Sheen put a big hit on winning. All right. Winning.
Exactly. All right, walking on the moon, pickup trucks. I didn't realize pickup trucks, I guess, are not big most other countries, or if we just do them bigger and better. Walking on the Moon's on here, but if you believe that we went to the moon, or as Superfly will tell people when they say that, you still believe in the moon.
You still believe
Nate,
in the moon? It's crazy.
Where are you at with walking on the moon pickup trucks?
Well, without pickup trucks, we wouldn't have country music, or maybe it's the other way around. I don't know. Whether we did it or not, it's got to be walking on the moon. The American flag on the moon beats pickup trucks. And you know what? We don't live in a world like we grew up in, where you can just sit in the back of pickup trucks and ride around. So that takes away half of the fun of having pickup trucks. And if you have one, you have to help all your friends move. So I'm going with walking on the moon.
Drew?
I think I'm going to go pickup trucks. I don't have a pickup truck. I don't imagine a time that I will have a pickup truck, but I think it does encompass like so much of like the cowboy culture, and we don't have hats and boots and stuff
Right.
on here, but that plus country music. And I mean, it's not just a Southern thing, right? There's people all over the place that have pickup trucks, and it does seem pretty American to me.
Right. I don't believe we walked on the moon. I don't think we ever went there. You look at what went to the moon. Like, there's no way that thing, if there's space, made it to space when you look at what we have out there now. And the fact that we're just like, oh, we're just not going back. We lost the technology. Somehow it got erased, even though it was on, like, I don't know. So, like, you're saying the people in NASA can't figure it out what the people back when white guys were ruling the NBA could figure out. These people can't figure out now. And I always thought, I have a pickup truck, and it's 13 Ram 1500. It's way bigger than we need. I hate parking. I'm like, because it's like, even if I park perfectly in, it's like tight. It's just too big. And I always thought before I had a pickup truck, watching people, I'm like, I think the people that drive pickup trucks, I think they think they're better than the rest of us, much like the people that back in the parking spaces.
Hey.
I have no problem, because
You got to make a quick getaway sometime. You know, most accidents in parking lots are morons backing out into each other.
Listen, I am
Dude,
not
favorite
anti-backing
guy
in. I am jealous because I can't do it very well. Adam backs in everywhere. He takes after, and you back in, I think, a lot of places, Nate. We take after Dad. You froze, Nate. I remove him and then add him back in. He's still frozen. Nate's frozen. I don't know what's going on. But yeah. And my point is, I got a pickup truck, and yes, we do think, like, I get a pickup truck. I just think I'm superior than the guy in the Ultima or whatever. Nate's back. So that was my point, Nate.
Cut out for a minute.
Before, I thought the pickup truck drivers thought they were better than everybody else. And then once I got one and driving, I'm like, yeah, we do. I don't know what it is. We just feel superior. I don't know if it's because we are up higher than everybody else. But I'm going pickup trucks because I don't believe we walked on the moon, so it shouldn't even be on here.
I think that
much like
frozen again there.
Much like Uncle Sam.
But
just so you know, the American Pie album is in the background, which is great.
I was worried there as Nate was frozen. I wasn't sure if we were going to get him back. We were into the unknown.
We were into the unknown. The aliens were going to get him. All right. Thanksgiving, big gulps. I think big gulps, like, again, going back to the obesity thing, you never need to have 64 ounces of a liquid at one time. Like, not even blood. Like, but I don't know, like, ounces and like how many pints. I don't know, like, what that, because of our measurement system. But I think 64 ounces of blood would be good enough to get you back where you needed to go. But I don't know. But Thanksgiving it's such an American thing, right, Drew?
Yes, it's absolutely Thanksgiving.
It is Thanksgiving. Big gulp. Shout out to Dumb and Dumber. And the point when
big gulps, huh?
Jim Carrey, big gulps, huh?
See you later.
See you later. That was all unscripted. And those guys weren't even actors. They were just people outside of the 7-Eleven with big gulps. So
Get me out of the studio.
Nate is back. He's out of the studio. So, all right. That's the end of the first round. We're an hour and a half in. I love it. It's a big show. It's America, baby. All right. We've got
What won the last two?
Thanksgiving beat big gulps, even though shout out to Dumb and Dumber. on the big gulps, and then pickup trucks did win because we never went to the moon. And it should not be.
Shout out to
And it
Brian
should-
Hyde, who on a road trip actually got to use the big gulp double
Did he?
line to strangers at a gas station. So
Nice.
well,
Nice.
all right.
Excellent. All right. American flag, Rocky. I think as great as Rocky is, I think the American flag moves on. Nate,
Yeah,
you're the Rocky fan.
Rocky can beat just about everything, but not the stars and bars.
And I think Rocky would be like, I am bowing out of this match. I'm throwing in the towel, if you will. Against the American flag. Drew, are you going to go American flag as well? All right. Bald eagle and cookouts, man. If you had a bald eagle at a cookout, dude, that would be
Talking about
the
cooking
best.
bald eagles.
No, just a bald eagle come flying in, grab a brat and just take off would be so amazing. Like the bald eagle is a great iconic symbol, but I think I'm going cookouts. Drew?
It's cookouts. Even though the bald eagle has been on the seal since 1782,
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that I read somewhere that it wasn't until like the 2024 that Biden made it our actual national bird.
Really?
Yeah.
I would have swore the bald eagle is always our national bird.
Yeah, I think that was an official thing from Mr. Biden.
There you go. And here we go. I did not vote for Biden. I don't like Biden. I don't think that was even the real Biden that was in office. That was a good thing he did. I see. I disagree with the politician, but I can acknowledge, you know what? That was a good policy. So there we go, people. You can do it. Is Nate frozen again, or is he just acting frozen? I can't tell because Nate can sometimes do that. So I think he is frozen. So cookouts are going to win anyways, Nate.
Cookouts.
I don't know what's going on with Nate's computer or whatever. So, all right. I'm going to go move him to goes back because that's just too creepy looking. Staring at us like that. Obesity and the Statue of Liberty, Drew. Where are you going with this one?
Statue of Liberty, Chad.
The Statue of Liberty. All right. I kind of want to go obesity because I didn't go statue really last time, but then I'm afraid Nate's not going to be there. And then I know if I go to whatchamacallit, Chat GPT or whatever, it's going to go Statue of Liberty. So I'm going to get Nate. Oh, he's back. He's moving.
He's kicking me out, man.
I don't know. I had to remove you because you were just staring at us and it was very creepy. So it was, and I thought you were faking it because I'm like, I think Nate's just doing the Zoom call thing because I saw Nate roll sometimes. But then I was like, this is too long, and he would not have.
No, it'll freeze up and it'll just be the circle.
I gotcha.
And then it
All right.
just kicks me out.
Cookouts
Did
beat
Cookouts
bald
win?
eagles, yes. And then Drew went Statue of Liberty. I'm taking obesity, so it's up to you. It almost went to Gemini again, but you came back.
I'm going Statue of Liberty.
Okay. Sorry, obesity. It's probably the right thing. Obesity should probably not get in the Final Four, although that is probably like fat phobic that obesity lost to the Statue of Liberty. But it's not. You can't say it is because the Statue of Liberty is kind of like illegal because it's a French woman. So we're all good there. You can't. It's going to blow the liberals' mind. I don't know which side to be on. All right. Fireworks, George Washington. I love fireworks, but I think it's George Washington, right, guys?
Yes.
I would add fireworks, but I'm okay with George Washington going on.
I gotcha. All right. I didn't even think this as a second round matchup, but freedom versus wars.
I saw it coming.
This is like it just hit me. I was like, I did not see that. So Drew, is this another one that kept? I just the fact that Drew, I would imagine Drew on that one matchup, it would wake him up at night. He would start making notes about the one matchup that was just had him perplexed. It just made me laugh that he thought about it all week. Freedom and wars.
Freedom because of the First Amendment, the 5 rights guaranteed in the First Amendment. Chad, do you know what they are?
No,
Or Nate, do you know what they are?
Was it free speech? That
Speech is one.
right to bear arms.
No, that's Amendment 2.
That's Amendment 2.
Speech. Religion. The right to assemble. Peacefully
That's right. Yeah,
assemble,
peacefully assemble.
The right to petition. The right to the press. freedom of the press. So
freedom of the press.
they always say freedom of speech, freedom of religion,
So it's-
freedom of those things.
They
So,
always talk about freedom of speech, but there's other things.
yeah,
also
5
involved.
things in the First Amendment, and that's 5 freedoms that we have. So I'm going to go freedom.
Yeah. Even though some of those in there we don't kind of have, because sometimes the freedom of religion, you say you're a Christian and you kind of that bash, and then the press is now a joke, anyways. So, and you can't even freedomly assemble at the Jan 6, because then you'll get arrested and put in jail for moving a podium. All right, are you going free? I'm going freedom. Nate, you going freedom?
We fought a war to gain freedom. It is freedom.
Exactly. All right. Dude, this is probably the most American matchup. Guns against football. Like,
Put them together, and what do you got? The opening scene of The Last Boy Scout. Let's go.
Exactly. What a poll by Nate. Nate, guns, football. Where are you at?
Right to bear arms. I got guns.
Well, I got this one, Chad.
Yeah.
So years ago, 4 or 5 years ago, I got a new student in like January.
Okay.
And it guys happens from time to time.
Yeah, transfer in or whatever.
Yeah. Well, he had moved from Africa.
Okay.
So this is his first time in the country. He'd been there for about a month.
Okay.
Right? We rolled to early February. It's a Friday afternoon. The bell rings for the end of the day. He stands up in class and he says, "Bye, everyone. Have a good Super Bowl." In his mind, that was just like, it was Christmas to everybody. They're like, everybody, and most of the kids are just looking at him like, what? But he thought the Super Bowl was like the biggest thing in the world to him. I've never forgotten that. It's football.
Oh, I'm gonna start saying that. It's gonna be like my Merry New Year that Nate and I do all the time from Trading Places.
Have a
good Super Bowl. Nate, did you go guns?
Yeah.
Or did you go yet? Okay. So it's up to me. Like, listen, I'm not a big, like, I think people should have guns. Like, it's a very important thing to have. It's very important for our country. I'm not a big gun guy. I do have some guns. So don't come at me at my house. I also have baseball bats that I'm probably more accurate with if you come into my house. I love me some football, though. But I think I'm going guns. I think guns is more like American than I can't believe I'm going against football. If it was fantasy football, then maybe I would probably take fantasy football, because then I could promote the Fantasy Football Island here on fanstreamsports.com with Jeff Didoff and I.
It's because of Roger Goodell that you didn't choose football, because he's.
That's exactly. I do not, dude. My thoughts on Roger Goodell are.
I like him a lot.
I could keep
Super
him.
tight hang.
I could keep him from 10 rebounds in a W. I probably couldn't. That dude's big. And he would play dirty too. Like I don't think I could, but I would for our segments here. All right, the Declaration of Independence, the measurement system. What do you got, Nate?
D of I, baby.
D of I, not DEI. If you thought about it, it's D of I. Drew, are you with the Declaration of Independence?
Absolutely, the original breakup letter.
Exactly. That is a great way to phrase that. All right, pickup trucks and Thanksgiving. It's so weird when these matchups come. You've got war and freedom, Declaration, like you've got this stuff, guns, football. And this is like pickup trucks and Thanksgiving just kind of seem like a letdown. Nate, you weren't there for either of those endings because your computer was going crazy. Let's get your thoughts on pickup trucks and Thanksgiving.
Yeah, the machines are already starting to turn on me.
Exactly. What are your thoughts on pickup trucks and Thanksgiving?
I did get to talk some pickup trucks. We don't get to ride in the back of them anymore and whatnot. Pickup trucks are super cool. They're just not really as great in the snow. So I think having them in the Midwest is probably only fun half of the year. And I love Thanksgiving. I'm getting the turkey down to a science. I love stuffing. I love all the sides, the corn pudding. It's as much as I love pickup trucks, I love all the food for Thanksgiving. And so I am going to go Thanksgiving.
Excellent. Drew, are you on Thanksgiving as
Also
well?
Thanksgiving, yeah.
I am too. There was someone that came here earlier whoever the Z Latin guy was like, is this a sports podcast or politics? It is normally a sports podcast, and we talk brackets. It is the 250th birthday of the United States of America. We are talking a little bit more politics and that kind of stuff in this one, just because it kind of seemed to fit with the state of our country here. So it is mostly a sports podcast that we will talk mostly sports, and then we have a random bracket that is a lot of times not sports. So most time it's not. So Thanksgiving moves on. I just saw he had 2 comments there. So appreciate you for watching. And yes, it is mostly sports. We usually do not talk this much politics, and we probably won't.
Be a little of both. We can love
after
our country
today.
and love sports. It's okay.
You can love them both. Yeah. So it's just one of those things. All right. Lead 8 going to the Final 4. American flag and cookouts. Is this where the love of cookouts ends, Drew?
I think it might have to be. As I was thinking, hot dogs is up there, cheeseburgers are up there, barbecue, and just the different forms of barbecue all across our nation and how they're all wonderful. It's the American flag.
Nate.
Stars and bars, baby.
Yep. We do not. Our national anthem is not sung about cookouts. It's sung about the American flag. It's moving on. Statue of Liberty and George Washington. Any of you live in Maddie fans or a Good Luck Charlie fan, George Washington. That's a reference that nobody will get. I do hope the Z Latin guy would get that. I would hope he would comment like, dude, that was episode this and that. Drew, Statue of Liberty, George Washington. You're the scholar, teacher. I want your input first.
Yeah, I think in the Statue of Liberty needed to go through when it did, as being a symbol to so many immigrants that have come to our country and helped to make America what it is. But you're right; it was a gift from the French. There are other replicas of Statue of Liberty. If you think about like National Treasure, I think it's National Treasure 2. They go to La Belle Lady, right? And they go see the one out there in France. George Washington he's the father of our country, helped us win the American Revolution. And then he specifically helped form our country the way it is because he refused to be king. They wanted to make him a king. And he said, no, I'm going to be a president. I'm going to serve my 2 terms. I'm going to, go away. And it set up everything from there.
If the Hamilton musical is correct, that's what happened. So Nate, George Washington. I'm going George Washington. I believe you're probably going George Washington.
One was born in Virginia. One was born in France. It's George Washington.
Oh, man, here we go. This is it. Freedom, guns. Nate, I'm going freedom. Like freedom, I think is almost a guaranteed Final 4. It was like one of those where no matter who it went up against, but guns again. I am yay for guns in this country. I'm going freedom. Nate.
Guns can kill a lot of things, but they can't kill freedom.
There we go. And I'm guessing you were going that way as well, Drew.
Yes, freedom.
All right. What's going to join freedom, the American flag, and George Washington in the Final 4? Is it the Declaration of Independence or Thanksgiving? Drew.
This is a tough one. So the Declaration of Independence, an early draft of the bracket, you had the Constitution. And I do think it was the right move to replace it with the Declaration of Independence.
Thank you.
I have seen both at the archives.
Yeah.
Declaration of Independence is an amazing thing because Nick Cage stole it that one time.
He did steal it that one time.
Praise.
For a good reason, though.
For a good reason, to keep other people from stealing it. Right. But I think it's Thanksgiving. When I think of just our country and early on the settlers with the Native Americans and Thanksgiving, all the different things. I mean, everybody gets together for Thanksgiving. It's like I've had family times where like you don't even see people. You may not even get together for Christmas, but like Thanksgiving we have to.
Yeah.
Thanksgiving.
Gotcha. Nate.
Declaration of Independence. What are we even talking about? I would have had big gulps in if it would have.
If his computer had not
What's
gone
better
down.
than Dr. Pepper? A giant Dr. Pepper.
A giant Dr. Pepper. I think I'm going the Declaration just because of what it signifies. Like Thanksgiving, it is probably the number one holiday in the United States. I think even more than Christmas.
Well, think about with Thanksgiving, you get you get the football games.
Exactly.
Right? You get Black Friday's kind
Black
of roped
Friday.
in there with all the selling. That's capitalism.
Yep.
You get football
I
capitalism.
love Black Friday. It's super fun for me.
That is true. Thanksgiving is maybe the most American holiday, if you think about it. Getting Black Friday off now too is amazing. I love it. I got it. I got it at one of my jobs, and then when I was where I'm working now, we didn't have it, and then they added it, which it's pretty great to have that day off after. So, all right, freedom, Declaration of Independence going against each other, and then you've got George Washington, the American flag. Nate, who you got over George Washington and the American flag?
The American flag.
All right, Drew.
I love me some George Washington. I love his estate. I get to go there regularly on the DC trip, see Mount Vernon and just the different things there. He's a very crucial member of our country, founding father, but it is the American flag.
Yeah, there's something about like at games, standing for the national and sitting there with the national anthem, hand over heart, seeing the people like the American flag. And I think too, if George Washington would have won this bracket, we would have had the No Kings group of people very mad at us. And George Washington would have been like, I cannot win the bracket. That would make me kind of look like a king. So it is the American flag. Going up against either freedom, the Declaration. I'm going freedom. In my mind, freedom is going to be making it to the finals the whole time. Are you guys in agreement, or is it either you guys on the Declaration side of it? I know Drew had Thanksgiving beating the Declaration. I don't know if you would have had Thanksgiving beating freedom, though.
Well, so the Declaration of Independence, right? It set up a lot of the freedom
It did.
that we had, but both of these are flawed because some of the things in the Declaration of Independence were not carried out.
Right.
You know, all men were not created equal at that time. When we think about freedom, there's so much of our country's time we had a large group of people in slavery.
Exactly.
Right. And so I think there's flaws to both freedom and the Declaration of Independence. But I think it's probably freedom.
Yeah. Nate.
William Wallace and Braveheart did not yell, Declaration of Independence. It is freedom.
I tell you what, I was going to use that. I was going to end it with that, but that's how Nate and I, man, we have half the same parents. It's just, and then growing up, like that was it. Again, that is it. And again, Drew's point, there's flaws in both. Everyone's flawed. You're not gonna have a perfect thing. Like the people, again, I'm sorry, the Z Latin guy, to get more like everything's flawed, but that doesn't mean we can't still be part of, like, my 30 years of marriage. I can't be like, well, this marriage sucks because we've had like a total of 3 years that kind of sucked and things weren't great. Like, no, like that's stupid. Like things are flawed. People are flawed. Everything has their flaws in it, but this is still the greatest country. And I was so much going to be, even though William Wallace is not American, he did not yell Declaration of Independence. Says
neither is Mel Gibson.
No, outstanding work by you, Nate, on that. And I was on that as well. So, American flag, freedom. Drew, where are you at?
So freedom is obviously something that's so important to all of us. It's a word that you're going to hear a lot in political speeches,
right,
especially this time of year, and especially with the 250. I don't know if you know this or not, the statue on the top of the Capitol Dome is the Statue of Freedom.
Okay.
So freedom is very, very important. But if you look at what we're wearing, it's American flag all over the place.
It is.
And I love the American flag because so many country flags, right? They're just specific colors. They don't necessarily represent something specific. And the American flag with 13 stripes tying us to our 13 original colonies, the 50 stars being the 50 states, and the fact that it's morphed over the years, right? Yeah. The American flag has changed over the years and become what it is now. And we planted it in the moon when we went to the moon, or you think we didn't go to the moon, right? We stand, we pledge allegiance to it. We do it for the national anthem. I think it was the first thing I thought of when I thought of an American thing. It's on my hat. It's on my shirt. It's on Nate's bandana. It is the American flag.
Nate. Are you going the American flag as well?
I am for all of those reasons, and you can't really show freedom like
Right.
know, it's visually just makes you think. Obviously, America. And
yeah.
Some guy, if there was a guy who was mute and to show patriotism, he could just wave the flag and say,
Wave the
yes,
flag.
That dude
And I'm
loves
not sure
America.
where its flaw is, right? So we were talking about a bunch of different things,
Yeah.
like, especially with freedom, right? It's very easy
Right.
to take the negatives in our country's history with freedom.
Yeah.
I'm not sure where we get all of the negatives when it comes to the American
Right.
flag.
And I
would
like it
maybe
for
prefer a cubby blue over the navy blue. But
exactly, but no. Shout out to Betsy Ross too. Yeah, I was gonna go American flag because like it's a symbol, and I think it's it. And for our bracket, I think it's gonna be more fun to have like that as a symbol when we like, okay, for the champions bracket, who's better, the American flag or floating air biscuit? It's just going to be so phenomenal to have that. So American flag wins. This is the last. So every 16 episodes that we do, the next episode we take the winners of the previous 16, put them in a bracket, and we have the champions bracket. So this will be our second champions bracket, which is going to be called Champions Bracket 2 Electric Boogaloo, because that was so funny growing up that anytime there's a 2 in Nate and I's house, growing up, we were doing it all the time. We do it at our house all the time. My kids will do it. Sarah, every time is just like, every time.
It's still not funny to me.
It's still not funny. It's just the greatest thing, like to say Electric Boogaloo after anything that says 2. So this is going to be that bracket. The previous 16, we've already gone almost 2 hours. I'm not going to go over all of it because you should tune in next week when we have the champions bracket to just crown the winner of the previous 16. So it was a long episode. I figured it was gonna be 2 hours. I thought we'd have a lot to say. It is we are proud to be Americans, proud of this country with its flaws. Hope you are too. And we need to become better. We need to be joining forces, like Nate said in the address. We have the power here, people. It's not the people in the political offices. We are the ones that put them there. We should not be looking at each other, yelling at each other, saying, well, you're stupid because you voted for them. You're stupid because you voted for them. We don't know the reasons why people vote for people. And again, they're all horrible. Most of the politicians that are in there are bought out, that kind of thing. If you don't believe it, at some point, I hope you kind of wake up. Probably once you realize we did not go to the moon. And then, and don't let our differences ruin relationships. That's the big thing, because they said they don't care about us. We have a governor's election and stuff, and none of these guys care about us. They really
Are any of them coming to your cookouts?
No one's going to the cookouts or to Thanksgiving or anything like that. So
Shooting guns with you.
Exactly. We got there. It kind of, I think, started off a little weird, but like we got there. We a lot of stuff. Again, it's mostly going to be sports and then the bracket. But here's the thing: no other show is probably going to be able to cover the landscape of all this stuff. Like on March Chadness, there is no topic that we will probably not hit or just pop up in the middle of a show that we didn't plan on it. Now, are we experts on it? No. That's what kind of makes it even better, that we just kind of spout out stuff. Some stuff we are experts on. Obviously, we are bracket experts for the first part of it. So thanks for tuning in. Again, Sunday, we were hitting a lot on Sunday, and then Friday was our sweet spot. And then back on this Sunday, we were hovering around 12. So hope you'll tell your friends, neighbors. It's just like Friday was not going to work with the thing. Those will be our 2 days probably. It's going to be on the weekend sometime. I'll put it out, go live at some point. So I appreciate you guys. Thanks for tuning in. And then we'll see you next week with the Champions Bracket on probably a Sunday, but I don't know. It depends on what our schedules are. Drew, Nate, always great. I'll let Drew get back to his family because I have nothing else really left to do except build a raised bed outside, and it's going to be so hot to do that. I already built like a storage unit for the pool, and I did it before. I skipped church to do that because I'm like, I'm not going to try to do both these here. So I'm usually at church. I just decided I could get this knocked out beforehand, and I did.
I went out there, huh?
Stay cool, Nate.
Stay cool. Nate's always cool. Hey, appreciate it. I hope this is the right March Chadness that I'm hitting to end the show. But fanstreamsports.com. Thank you so much for watching. Tell your friends, tell your enemies, like, subscribe, all that nonsense. Happy birthday, America. We will see you next time.
It's March Chadness. They'll cure your sadness with sports and brackets. They'll bring the madness all year long, and this concludes their pod's theme song. They're talking brackets, y'all.
Have a good Super Bowl.